Alright, what's up guys? So today, I'm going to be reviewing the Nintendo Switch 2, as well as some Switch 2 accessories, so I hope y'all enjoy. First things first, the Nintendo Switch 2 I got came in the bundle with the full download for Mario Kart World. I believe it's cheaper to get it this way. Separately, I believe the game is more. This way, you kind of get the game and the system, the game for $50. And then right along with that, we got the Nintendo Switch 2 camera. The camera is good for game chat and streaming your videos using the Switch 2 camera and playing online with your friends. This makes all that possible. So we're going to take a look at that as well. We also have this Mario Kart World case, and as you can see, this is the Switch OLED and this is the Switch 2. The case is massive, but I love this case. I'm a Pokemon fan, but I also love Mario. In this case, Mario Kart World. And it's an amazing case, but this case is very big. Alright, first things first, we're going to go over what came with the Switch bundle, everything that came in the box. New Switch came with new Joy-Con grips, a cloth to clean the screen of your Switch, HDMI cord, the new one's in the TV, and this is the new Switch 2 docking system, very similar to the first docking system. The back comes off, and you put in your HDMI and charging system that way, adapters, etc. Look side by side, this is the Nintendo Switch OLED dock system, this is the Switch 2 dock system, so not many big changes there. You can see the change in shape and many of the input-output or the adapters placement is in different areas. And this is the makeshift controller, I call it. They give you can put the two Joy-Cons in each side and you have a full controller that way, or you can, have the two Joy-Cons. But I'm always pro controller or a brand that, imitates the pro controller from a third party. So I'll be using these for play. That reminds me, but I'll show you in a second, your old controllers for the original Switch are compatible with the new Switch. It's just turning on the system. You'd have to turn it on, but once it's hooked up, you can use all your old controllers. So you won't have to get the Pro Switch 2 controller. But I heard that is a very good controller. And this is the Nintendo Switch 2. And right here I'll show off the Joy-Cons. They come off just like that. They snap right off. And then magnetically they come back on. Wait. That's one. That's the other one. And yeah, it's much better doing that, and it feels nice and secure in my hand. Compared to the old way, the Switch OLED, they would just slide in and off, or they'd slide out on me as I'm playing fighting games, boop, 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 whoop, slipped off. So that was a big problem in the past. That is corrected. We'll do a side-by-side comparison, but yeah, definitely love the new Joy-Cons. But size, the screen size, all that you can see on display. The Switch OLED is a bigger model than the original Switch. So the Switch 2 from the original model is a big improvement in that aspect, screen size. I will say they went down from the OLED screen back to, I believe, an HDR screen. But the colors are still vibrant. It's still a good screen. I haven't been like, oh, I can't deal with the screen. And it's a more powerful system, so that makes up for a lot of that. But those wishing it was just the Switch OLED screen onto, a bigger screen, sadly to say that's not the case here. Other things to compare, the old stand system looked more like that to the new stand system. It's skinnier, but it still has full support, nothing falls over. Another thing, instead of just having I have smudges all over the screen. Instead of just having the charging port at the bottom of the Switch, like the OLED, on the Switch 2, you have the charging port at the top and the bottom. So yeah, with the Switch 2 being a more powerful system, I've noted a lot of the old games run better on Switch 2. The performance is better, everything's better, so I'll show off that. As well as I've noticed loading times are a lot quicker, but that's part to the micro SD card, the Express. You can't use the older micro SD cards that you could use for the older model Switch, but this one uses a more powerful, faster SD card that I was able to put in. So first, I'll start with what's new. The port, WWE 2K25, is an amazing port to the Switch. Like, it runs so well. I remember WWE 2K18 being terrible on the Switch, not able to run. And this port looks so good on Switch compared to PS5, as I'll show. I have the previous 2K24 on PS5, so I'll show that off real quick. A lot of the features are the same. My own created character, create your character, etc. I have to unlock a lot of characters. It's very new. The modes: play, my rise, showcase, the island, the new island, my GM is here, universe mode's here, and the my faction. Now we'll put this on the big screen and I'll show you what I mean in terms of the upgraded graphics. We'll directly compare it to this. So we'll do a mirror match on Switch, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, 2K25. And then first I'll show the same match on the PS5 for Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Alright, the PS5 version.
Perhaps the most dominant champion in WWE history. The head of the table, Roman Reigns.
I'll skip through it a little bit. I'll show a little bit intros. CM Punk.
The best in the world.
A little gameplay of the PS5 version.
Referee signals to the bell, and we are finally underway. These superstars are seeing red right now.
Line them up.
Oh, wow. Right top.
Okay, now I'll put in the Switch version. Let's get it. Same match, I'm about to dock it up. Just so you know, and have proof. To show off hooking up the controller, we're connected. Let's get it.
Tribal Chief is here. It's an extreme rules match. 65 pounds. The OTC.
Now showing off CM Punk. And a little gameplay.
There's one type of match in the WWE that is wilder than wild when things go extreme and the landscape of the WWE changes in unpredictable ways. It's Extreme Rules.